So this is some sort of an HKS ECU from the 80s, it seems. This thing's huge. It looks like some sort of a gaming console from the mid-80s. Holy drift handbrake. What the f*** is this? Definitely a drift car. Looks like it's touching the fucking ceiling. What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Buying Cars Online. In this episode, we're going to take a look at Japanese online car auctions. In particular, we're going to be looking at Japan Partner. I'm going to show you guys how the auction system works, how to use it, and also how to look at previous car auctions, because you want to try and get a feel of what the cars sell for, what sort of prices, what sort of cars to bid on if you are buying. Otherwise, just look on these sites for some cool JDM cars. So I'm going to talk shit about cars. We're going to look at some really cool ones, we're going to look at some really crap ones and go from there. So let's get started. Okay, so once you hit japanpartner.com, you're going to get to this screen here. By clicking on used car auctions, it'll take you here. Now you want to select all these days. So currently it'll only select the day Friday, which is today. You're going to select all the rest of the days, and those are your auction days. You're going to select market price, and that will show you your past auctions. So we're going to go up to a month, which will be the 28th of September. Select Jamaica. We're going to start with Mazda, and we're going to go down to RX7. Now you can see there's been 261 RX7's that sold in the last month. We only care about the RX7. We're going to look at that. You're going to list all of them, and you're going to click search. Here's all the RX7's. Guys, I'm not going to go through many FC's or maybe none at all. If I do find one that it looks interesting, I'll click on it. We're going to be focusing on FDs, we're going to be looking at Toyota Supras, we're going to be looking at Skylines, and we're going to be going from there. So real JDM goodness. Okay, so let's start with this one. $12,000, we're going to open that. I'm just going to open a bunch of tabs and we'll click through them. $8,000, that one sold for, sorry, let me backtrack a bit here. This car was at the JAA auction. It's a Mazda RX-7, it's a Type RS. The starting price for this vehicle was $4,286. It then sold for $12,762. It's a 2001 model, it's got 80,000 kilometers, plus minus, FD3S, it's white in color. F5 transmission means that it's a manual car. 4 is the grading of the car. An R means it's been rebuilt in some way. If the grading is a number, it means that the car has not been in an accident or not had parts replaced, etc. So 4 is really good. A brand new car would be a 5. Something like a mint condition R34 GTR would be a 4.5. So 4 is pretty. Now I'm going to go through and just open up a bunch of tabs here, and then we'll start clicking through and looking at it. So this is the Bathurst edition, sold for 4.8, and let's choose one or two. Jesus, there's an FC here that sold for $610. I've got to open it. Another FD for 4.2, and I'm just going to pick a random one that'll take us about halfway through the month of September. No, it'll be halfway through the month of October. And there's the yellow one that sold for $27,000 it sold for. Holy shit, this was cheap. $2,200 for this RX7. Okay, I think we got enough here. Let's start from the first one. This particular white one is an 01 model, 80,000 Ks, like I mentioned to you, and here's your auction sheet. So this auction sheet's got a couple of things. Here's the model of the vehicle. Okay, here's the grading that I spoke to you guys about. Now these two I get a little bit confused about. One of them is interior, one of them is exterior. I think the first one is exterior. So you've got gradings. A is a brand new car, or really, really good. It goes all the way up to E, which means it's pretty much fucked. This one's got 79,633 Ks, or 80,000 is the closest. Manual transmission. That's the automatic. It's got aircon. It's got power steering. It's got power windows. Automatic windscreen wipers. It's got airbag, and it's got ABS brakes. This is your VIN number or chassis number for the vehicle. And these little guys here mean a few certain things. So A2 means that it's a scratch. It's a decently sized scratch. There's a scratch or a crack on the windscreen. XX means that the body panel here, so it'll be this door, has been replaced. B, I think B was a dent, so we'll have to just go back here and take a look. Sorry, B is a defect, so there's a defect over here. A1, small scratch. U1 is a dent. Okay, 5 on the tires. I might be wrong on this, but the grading on the tires, I think they go up to 10, so 5 means it's got 50% life on each tire. This sort of stuff, you got to get your buyer to decode. So I've got someone in Japan who was helping me out. They read this auction sheet and they'll tell me, okay, well, it's got problems with suspension or what, and it's got a HKS exhaust, whatever they may put on this buying sheet. So you got to get the guys to decode, and you might not get some honest people out there, so just be very careful. So that's the car one. We'll go through this a lot quicker. This was just to show you it. Whoa, okay, so this guy's got quite a few modifications. Some sort of Cybon charge speed bonnet, not too sure, could be RE Mimia, I don't know. Nice wheels in the car, nice front bumper, huge motherfucking spoiler, big wang gang. Nice big exhaust, he's got a decent diffuser on the back. I love these JDM number plates, they're really cool. Interior, he's missing the radio, some weird dildo gear shift knob. The carpet mat looks like someone bled out on it. Some fucked up cables here. Looks like it's missing that panel. It's like some sort of a piece of plastic here. I may be wrong. I'm actually going to keep this one open and compare the interior of another car. These gauges look a bit dodgy. I'd probably remove those. That looks like a turbo timer. I think the seat has been removed. It's only got the front seat in the car. I can't really tell, but it looks like the seat's been removed from the car. Anyway, so this car would be a worry for me. It's got 108,000 Ks BB and it's an R, so it's been rebuilt in some way. So fuck this car, let's move on to the next one. Ooh, this kind of looks like mine. Sold for $4,800 and it's got all this sort of stuff here, blah blah blah. You guys can pause and read this thing if you want. Pretty decent, looks cool, nice exhaust. Now, these wheels without spaces just doesn't do justice to the car. It looks like they're too far in. Don't particularly like it. Moving on, let's come back to the FC. Okay, here's another interior pic. So let's compare. Where was this guy? There. Okay, the seat's definitely out, and there's this plastic bit over there. So you can see this car is missing a seat, it's missing a plastic bit. Okay, so back to this car. Sold for $4,200. It's got a couple of issues. It's a 3, so nothing's been rebuilt in the car. Bonnet looks like cheap. Those side fenders look a bit cheap. Interior looks pretty good though, I won't lie. Don't know what that is. Some sort of a push start button. No, I think that's where your cigarette lighter is. See, I don't know the RX7 too well. I'm still waiting for mine to arrive from Japan. Anyway, white one's crap. Silver one. Sold for $2,257. This is absolutely fuck all money. Now, something is seriously wrong with this car. I don't know what. Possibly a blown engine. Now, the reason why I say this is there's an accelerating X over here, and they've crossed all of that shit out. So it doesn't exactly show what's wrong with the car. It's got 107,000 Ks in it. It looks really neat. It's a manual transmission, which is cool. Lots of unnecessary wires lying around. And it's got some sort of Altezza type lights on the back. I don't know what you call them. Cool wing. Looks like it needs some work. Look, finding a car this cheap that's in running condition is few and far between. So $2,000, I think it's cost. Right. $27,000 fucking dollars for this Mazda RX-7. It's a grade 4, it's a BB. This car is pristine. There's a couple little niggities on it, so small scratch. W is paint that needs to be repaired or was repaired and slightly visible, and another little scratch there, and then there's a decently sized scratch there. So for the most part, this car's pretty awesome. It's got 64,000 Ks on it. Stock wheels. There's stock wheels on there. Stock front bumper, stock wing as far as I know. Exhaust is the dual tip exhaust. So this car is pretty damn stock. That's quite nice. So this car looks like it's been looked after quite a while. Not too sure what's going on over there, but it's still a hell of a lot of money for this car. That's a lot of money. Right, this FC, $610 for this thing. So let's try to figure out what's wrong with this car and why it's sold for so cheap. Let's look at the auction sheet first. Stuff's been scratched out, been crossed out, so my feel is engine is blown. Don't know what that means. If any of you guys speak Japanese, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear about this. So it's sold for next to nothing. Why? Let's look at the front. Okay, bonnet's not lined up, or maybe it's not closed properly. It's got loss of paint. It's got a nice little dent on the side there. Missing paint. Looks like some rust spots on the front. Back of the car looks okay. Holy shit, what's going on here? So this is some sort of an HKS ECU from the 80s, it seems. This thing's fucking huge. It looks like some sort of a gaming console from the mid-80s. There's some unnecessary wire lying around here. It's missing the plastic, those old school knobs there for your air conditioning. I don't know if it had air conditioning back then or fan. So cool, hot. This is properly old school and it's fucked. Someone's put an aftermarket steering wheel in it. The seats look like someone got gangbanged in the car. Wow. I've got to close this. I'm sorry. Too much. Okay guys, let's find 2 more RX7s and then we'll move on from there. So let's go to last week. So 22nd of October. Okay, so I found 2. This one sold for $3,700. Again, I don't know what's wrong with it. There's a big stamp on it. Not too many details. Its bonnet's not lined up, the lights aren't lined up, the front bumper's not lined up. It looks like it needs a respray. Looks like it's sitting at some crash junkyard, to be honest. Look at the cars in the back. I don't know what was going on here, but it does not look good. Back of the car looks great. Wheels could do some changing. Interior of the car looks pretty neat. That looks like a Nardi steering wheel. Some sort of a 6-disc CD changer, or just a double DIN CD changer. Don't know what that is. Cell phone holder perhaps. For the most part the interior is neat. Yeah, look, I don't know. For the amount of money they're asking, and for not knowing what's actually going on, I don't think it's worth it at all. So let's move on. Right, $3,900. Pretty cheap. It's a grade 3, hasn't been in a massive accident or hasn't had parts replaced, and it's a BB interior and exterior. Headlights look like they've been replaced, and it looks like primer coating. Doesn't look like it's been painted. Nice big exhaust. That looks like a HKS high power perhaps. Again, the car looks shit without wheel spacers, or maybe bigger wheels. Interior looks good. There's a gauge there, there's another gauge at the top. It's missing the gear shifter or gear knob. Looks like it's missing that little button on top of the handbrake as well. Sort of Sparko steering wheel. Maybe for the money. It's actually not, to be honest, actually it's not bad. So yeah, it's got Defi something, so I'm assuming it's a Defi gauges. It's got raised wheels, and it's got Bride something. It doesn't look like Bride seats, unless this seat here is a Bride bucket seat. I can't tell. And yeah, look, it's definitely a Bride seat. You can read here BR, and there's a little dude here that comes with the car. Let's go look at some Toyota Supras. Okay, so again, you're going to select all the days of the auction, and you're going to select the maker. Okay, so we selected 1 month, and we're going to be looking at Toyotas and Supras. We're going to be looking at Toyota Supras now. Okay, so bear in mind, I don't know too much about the Supras. I know they're cool cars. They've got the 2JZ JTE for the charge model, and the 2JZ GE, as far as I know, for the normally aspirated. They're both 3-litre inline 6s. The turbo model is a twin turbo. They're both rear-wheel drive, and they're both crazy cool cars. However, they have been banned for import in South Africa by Toyota South Africa, who put a ban in place in 2014 and said that it was hurting our market, particularly on the Toyota 86 sales. So they've stopped importation or further importations of Toyota Supra. So I will never be able to own one unless I buy a local one. Okay, again, I'm going to pick out some random cars here. So this yellow one, this red one, this one for $13,000. I'm not going to go for Mark 3s. We're going to be particularly looking at Mark 4 Toyota Supras. Take this guy and $21,000. I see that one's got a dent on it. I just want to look. And let's go to current month and pick some random ones here. What the fuck? $48,000 for that one. I gotta see it. And there's a pink Supra for $2,500. Okay, that's it for the Supras. So first one, you guys know the drill with the auction sheet. Okay, so this particular one is the Toyota Supra SZ. I think the SZ is the normally aspirated model. Let's take a quick look. Toyota Supra. Okay, so this particular one sold for $3,200. Not a lot of money. It's got a hell of a lot of mileage though, 206,000 kilometers. It's got power steering, it's got power windows, it's a 3.5, hasn't been in an accident. It's got a B interior, B exterior. Pretty good. It's got a couple small minor issues. This is a SZ model, so that means that it's a normally aspirated 2JZ GE. It's got some road rash here. This can be fixed. I don't know what that is. Might be some sort of a sticker. It's got a nice exhaust in the back. Wheels are shitty. Handbrake needs to be changed. Steering wheel is shit. I hate the stock. Actually, I hate the stock wheel on the GTR, on the R32, and on the Supra. Not sure what the stock wheel looked like on the RX7, but for the most part, those two are pretty shit. Okay. Anyway, boring. Moving on. Red one. Red one's definitely been sprayed badly. Okay, so this red is from a different car, or I don't know, it could even be plastic dipped, some sort of shit. That's been sprayed over. There's some sun damage, lots of sun damage over there. Doesn't say whether it's an SZ or RZR or whatever the model may be, so I can't tell you. That's a Kakimoto exhaust. Right, it's a grade 2, which is probably one of the worst gradings I've seen online looking at cars and auctions. EE means the body is fucked and the interior is fucked. I mean, you can just see it's got P. I don't even know what the fuck P is. P something. There's no P here. So this legend doesn't show you what the hell a P is. Anyway, lots of damage on the back of this car. Actually, lots of damage everywhere on this car. Stay away. Whoever sold the car, well done. Whoever bought the car, you're fucked. Blue Supra, $13,000 RZS model. This is the legend 3-litre inline 6 twin turbo rear wheel drive. Looking at the car, it's a B. I don't know what could be the B for the exterior. 3.5 grade is pretty good. A couple of little shit problems on here. Now this scares me. I have no idea what it says. I would get a buyer to tell me first. These exclamation marks. They're big exclamation marks. When I see that, I don't know what the fuck to expect. So I don't know. $18,000 for this car. Looks nice. There's a dude hiding inside there. I would put some wheel spacers on there. We'll get bigger wheels. Nice exhaust. That looks like a Apexy AVCR, I think. Some crazy gauges everywhere, lots of wiring. I would have done this a little bit better. That looks like an Apexy SAFC. This dude looks like he's touching himself. Moving on. Okay, grey CPSZR. I think this is, I don't know. Someone tell me in the description. I think this is the twin turbo beast. It's got a 6-speed manual gearbox. I don't know, this could well be the turbo model. Maybe not. Cool car. $21,000. Just a fucking shitload of money. What's in the box? Speed meter, full scale. Okay. Some sort of gauge there. Standard wheel. That's actually a decent standard wheel. So this must be a later model. 2001. So they got a little bit more sense in the later years and their wheels looked a lot better. Don't know what that's about. Supra. Goodbye, Supra. Next one, silver. Ooh, this is the one with the dent. There's lots of scratches there. Why is it scratched out? Something's broken. That's scratched out. It said okay before. Someone obviously popped the engine on the way. It's sitting at USS Osaka, so it's one of the auction houses. Don't know what that means. And let's see, nice big dents in the back, some scuff marks on the side. It's missing the wing as well. Anyway, a lot of money for a fucked car. $48,000 fucking dollars for this thing. 4.5 grade. This car is near new. It's got 17,000 kilometers on it. 6,281. It's a B all round. There's 2 little scratches on the car and something wrong with the windscreen. Other than that, that's crazy. Stock wheels on the car. SZR. This is definitely the turbo model. That could be a turbo timer. Turbo timer, maybe boost controller. I'm leaning more towards turbo timer. That is a shitload of money for this particular car. You could buy a good couple of Skylines for this. And we're left with this pink Supra. It's a rebuild. It's a C all round possibly. A couple issues here and there. CP. This is probably a normally aspirated model. 2,500. Next to nothing. Some issues there. Dent and scratch possibly. This car looks like it just had a bad spray job. It's an auto model, that's why it's cheap. Auto steering wheels with some random cover on it. It's probably fucked underneath. Anyway, not my cup of tea. And the wheels look dodgy at best. Pink, what were you thinking? Must have been a chick driver. Okay guys, moving on now. We're going to look at some Skylines. Okay, so this pisses me off. And if you guys from Japan Partner are listening by any chance, please try and fix this. You can only select Skyline. You can't select GTST, GTR, etc, etc. So it's quite annoying. You'll see now. 2,400 of them will pop up. And now the only way for us to differentiate whether it's a GTR or GTST is here. And there's no filter for it either. So I know this is a GTR. There's a GTST. So I'm just going to randomly open a couple. And let's see what we come up with. V is obviously a V-Specs, so I'm going to open up some of these as well. Those are R33s. Look at this, 83 pages worth of Skylines. It's actually put me off looking through all of this, but I'm going to do it anyway for you dudes. So guys, I've just kept a whole bunch of pages now and I'm still looking for GTRs. I'm battling to find them. You know, we've got a good couple pages open here. So let's start with this. So here's the 32, it's sold for $8,200. It's got 74,000 Ks on it, pretty decent. I have no idea what any of this means. I'm not going to run through any of that, you guys know what's going on now. These pictures are really small and really shitty, so let's skip this car. Next one, silver one, 149,000 Ks. It's a 93, just like mine, sold for $11,000. Let's open it up. Small pictures. It's got the N1 front lip, it's got the N1 headlights, it's got that little N1 lip. Let's see if I can make this bigger. Quality shit. The N1 lip, N1 headlights. Looks just like my car. Missing that little back lip that I've just ordered for mine. Something's been rebuilt. It's a C grade for both interior and exterior. GTST. Fucked. Someone drifted this bad boy around the corner. Or it could be bonnet lifters or bonnet spacers. I don't know. Anyway, I'm jumping to conclusions here. So GTST, it's got some pretty shitty wheels on it. Some mesh there. It's got a gauge. It's got a slightly damaged bumper, a little Pee-wee exhaust, and some funny sticker on the back. I don't know what that's about. That looks like a chick and some dude pushing her head down, and he's shooting stuff at his GTR. I don't know. Holy drift handbrake. What the fuck is this? Definitely a drift car. To me, this handbrake looks like it's touching the fucking ceiling. That is awesome. Cringe, but fucking awesome. Okay, yeah, this was some sort of a drift car, and I think it didn't end badly. Rear seats have been pulled out, and sorry guys, that handbrake just killed me. I'm moving on now. Goodbye. R33 GTR V Victory Spec. So this will probably be a V-Spec 1. Something's been rebuilt. BB, good car. For the most part, looks quite neat. Sold for $11,000. Nice exhaust. Looks like it's pushed a bit too far back though. Some sort of a entertainment system here, I guess. There's electronic toll collection system. Sparko wheel, as far as I know. Pretty cool. It's got the Nismo gauges, Nismo cluster, Nismo gauges, etc. Cool car. Another R33, another V-Spec. V-Spec's actually really common in the 33s. $8,000 it sold for. It looks like it's got a couple of issues. It's got sat nav in it. It's got some horrible wiring that would need to be cleaned up. Someone left their cell phone in there. Moving on. 32 GTR, missing the wing. Rebuild. So from what I heard was R is rebuild. A means it's been rebuilt really well. So if you look here, you can see that there's hardly anything wrong with the car. It's a B interior and exterior. Missing the wing, it's got some gauges in that and some other shit. Another 33 didn't sell. Negotiate, sold. So, sorry, it did sell, but out of the auction for some reason. 38,000 Ks. Whatever. Okay, another 32, not sold. So it started at 2.1, it went up to $6,048. Didn't sell. The seller pulled the car out of the auction just before, or it didn't meet his reserve. N1 front bumper, some strange bonnets. I would not put that on my car. Comes with a dude inside. Missing gear knob. That looks a bit poked. Some funny steering wheel, and it's got 56,000 kilometers in it. I find that hard to believe due to the condition. I've got 84,000 now, I think, and mine's a lot better condition than this car. Another R33 V-Spec, very common. V-Spec. Oh, my cup of tea. Especially with this wooden piece of shit. And the last one is a 32. $8,000. Rebuild R2, don't know what it is. C all around. Small pictures. Shit, this is the same one that we looked at initially. Anyway, guys, this was the Japanese auction discussion. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you want more videos like this, just let me know in the comments. I like talking shit. I like talking shit with you guys, chatting to you guys in the comments, etc. So let me know if you want to see more of this. Either way, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.
The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is gonna hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. Now if you know what you're worth, then go out and get what you're worth. But you gotta be willing to take the hits. and not pointing fingers saying you ain't where you want to be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that, and that ain't you.